influencers, or should I say the YouTuber influencers, are leaving Dubai. And they come here for the lifestyle, for the content.
What's your dream?
My dream? Well, I think I already kind of live it, man.
Really?
I'm here in Dubai. I love my life, so I'd say I've already done what I want to do.
And then they make a whole video on how it did not meet their expectations. Today, I'm going to be reacting to Charlie's video, which Charlie Morgan, he's one of the most successful, I would say. Like, he's like an Iman Gadzi kind of like influencer who sells courses. Again, nothing against him, by the way. When I'm making this video, I actually like the guy. I like a few of the videos he makes. I think when it comes to the business niche and course selling niche, he's one of the best. But in this video specifically, which by the way, he's been creating content for a long time. Now this video has been his most viral video. His brutal, honest reason why after 2 years he's leaving Dubai. There are some things I agree with him. I'm going to be very honest and I'm going to be trying to be as unbiased as I could be. But some of the points, oh my God.
The next thing is you can't drink the water.
And to be honest with you, he's just following a trend. These business YouTubers and stuff like that, these course setters, when they make their videos, which again, nothing against course setters, is just talking about the reality that when they create content, if there's a new trend, if there's something that's like a new buzz, they all follow it. And this trend was happening for a while, where they come to Dubai, make all these videos, flashy videos, get these kids and young entrepreneurs to watch the videos and fall in love with the lifestyle and then go buy their courses. And then they're leaving Dubai and that became the new trend. He saw a bunch of videos go viral, so he made his own. And I'm here to really react to it and give my brutal, honest perspective because me, unlike Charlie, I grew up in Dubai. I was here before Dubai was Dubai and it was all the buzz and all the influencers are coming. I saw this city go really from nothing to whatever it is right now. So yeah, that being said, let's get into it.
So the first thing and the real primary reason that I decided to leave, living in Dubai feels like you're on holiday or on an Airbnb. The issue with Dubai is everyone plans to leave. 95% of the people that I knew in Dubai did not plan on staying there for the long term, or they were only there for half of the year because of the summer. Huge con, because you can't build like a consistent social life, a consistent love life. It's really tricky, and I found that difficult.
Because Charlie, what was the main reason you went to Dubai in the first place?
I originally moved there to avoid paying tax.
You didn't go there to find a community and find a place and actually live there. You went there to sell courses and be more flashy, which is what you wanted and what you got. And that's the same reason your community and the 95% of people that you know that did leave, did go there. Charlie is in a tiny bubble. He was living in Palm Jumeirah in the villa section. Palm Jumeirah, it seems like it's a place for young entrepreneurs. It's not, because it seems like that because they make videos of it and they always make that flashy lifestyle. Actually, I'll tell you what Palm Jumeirah is good for and who it's actually good for. Number one, really rich families. It's a family-oriented area, by the way. Two, it's for people who use it as like vacation homes. They come here like 2 to 3 times per year. David Beckham and many other celebrities, Cristiano Ronaldo, they own villas in Palm Jumeirah. So the area he chose is a very hard area to find your own community and find these things because of the place he chose. If he lived in Dubai Hills, if he lived in downtown or Business Bay, he would have a whole different perspective. But the reality is the place he chose is complete opposite of what is supposed to be meant to be if he's trying to find a community. But to touch on things more on what he's specifically talking about is people leaving. That's not true. It's true for his niche, which is a very small niche, by the way. It's true for these young entrepreneurs who come and make videos online and sell courses and use their flashy lifestyle for 2 years and make a ton of money and then they leave. What I'll tell you is true is people who come here and they leave when the weather gets hot for a couple of months. Easily make this like for people to know. Just check the numbers. Dubai's golden rule and how it actually works is 100% of the tourists come, 10% end up coming back, and out of that 10%, 1% end up buying real estate and living here. That's what's actually going on, by the way. It's very important why we went there in the first place. And Charlie, again, I could be wrong. If you watch the video, which I believe you would, put a comment. Tell me why you actually went in the first place. Was it because it was a big trend and everyone was doing it and it would help your YouTube video? Which again, nothing wrong with it, but let's be honest. For relationships, I'll 100% agree with Charlie. Extremely difficult. The most successful relationships, majority, unless they're Muslim, If they're not Muslim, because it's a whole different type of like culture. If you're Muslim, you can easily find people in Dubai. But it's most of the successful relationships are found like they were traveling in the UK or they're traveling in Europe. They're like traveling, they find the perfect person and then they bring them to Dubai. Very rarely I find someone who's met their wife in Dubai. It's very rare. It exists, but it's very rare. As I said, I'm not going to be biased. But why is that? It's because Dubai, it's really hard for the women to find jobs and be able to sustain themselves right now within the lifestyle that they want. Because most people come to Dubai, especially the younger people, for their lifestyle. And it's very hard for them. For example, if you meet a girl in Dubai, right, who came by herself, like she wasn't here with her family, they're either a model, influencer, real estate agent, or a personal trainer. Could be some other stuff, but it's very rare for it to be other stuff. But why is that? Because it's hard for them to find jobs. In the future, that's going to change. 1. 2, the ratio of women and men in Dubai, it's, I believe, a 70 and 30 ratio or 60-40. There's reasons behind that, but that's also going to be changing soon. It's a big thing. And also the mentality of the women that come to Dubai. So people who come to Dubai, they come for lifestyle. They come for different reasons. If a girl lives in Europe and she's coming to Dubai, she's coming there for a specific reason. Because it's lifestyle. She's not coming there for the nature or the community. She's coming for lifestyle. And that affects relationships, by the way, a lot. Because it's hard to find a relationship.
The next thing is you can't drink the water. This is a small con. It's not that deep. So you have to drink bottled water.
Can't drink water.
One massive gripe that I have with Dubai, and I don't know why the UAE does this, all of the drinking water, all the bottled drinking water, with the one exception of San Pellegrino, that's imported into Dubai, has had the sodium removed from it. So all the electrolytes in the water are removed from all the drinking water. So what happens is you end up just dehydrating yourself because these electrolytes hydrate you. And because you're sweating so much because of the weather, you drink more water, but you're basically flushing out the electrolytes you've got. So everyone in Dubai has an electrolyte deficiency. So what I had to start doing was I bought a funnel and some Himalayan pink salt and some electrolytes. And every morning I would get salt in my water just so I could have electrolytes. I don't know why they do the low sodium thing. I don't know anything about health and water and...
I don't know why that's a big point. First of all, this is water in Dubai. It's just water, man. I don't know what the fuck you're like Jesus Christ, just freaking drink the water, man. Like, you're not gonna you're not gonna die. It's fucking water. Like, you think, imagine right now I just pass out after I fucking drank the water. I'm joking. Like, come on, man. Come on. No need to make that as one of the fucking cons. Just freaking like just to also drink the Nestle. They don't think I'm being biased. I'm joking. Again, like, come on, man. Come on. The water, for real. It's electrolytes. Just freaking put electrolytes. God damn it. Like, I have this fasting salts. I'll make them put an image. Like, you can get it from Amazon. Like, it's not the end of the world. You think everyone in Dubai is just freaking dying. Like, come on. Electrolytes. Like, what, in France, if from Mount Everest, it just flows into your freaking house? The freaking water, man, is how it works in Europe. Oh, you want to talk about tap water? You want to talk about the tap water in Europe?
The next thing is construction. Now, I never really had much of a problem with this because I was living in a house on quite a quiet street on the Palm. But a lot of people who lived in apartments, they all complained about construction noise. It's relentless, apparently. So like if you're living in like an apartment block or a high rise.
100% true. 100% true. I'm going to talk about it. So now I'll give that at first place. So with the ranking, I'll let my team have the ranking of things who's actually right. Number 1, I'll touch on this, okay? Few things. 100%, because Dubai is constantly growing. As a city, it's growing and it keeps on developing. There's always construction happening. He lived in Palm Jumeirah. Thankfully, one time he said something that was right. There's not a lot of construction happening there because the plot's already built. There's only a few more plots left. But that's because the city is growing. One thing I would say is, how do you fix the problem? There's not much of a solution, or you want the city to stop growing for you. That's one. 2 is if you live in areas like the marina or downtown, which is like very like city life, you're always gonna have noise. For example, if you live in downtown London, Ontario in Canada, if you live downtown in London, if you live in these areas, you're living in an area that's actually very noisy. Like in New York, it's always noisy, even if they're not doing construction, right? So you're open to the noise. So whenever I deal with a client who wants to live in a place in Dubai, like they're an end user, not only an investor. I always warn them. I'm like, listen, you're gonna go to Business Bay and downtown, even if there's no construction, you're always gonna deal with noise. You're gonna have these Bugattis and Lamborghinis that are always like at night. You're always gonna deal with that. That was awful sound effect I did, like when the Tigachi did the sound. Like you're always gonna deal with that, you know, because you're living like that city life. City life is not known to be quiet, right? So that's one thing I always say. But there are areas where you're not gonna have that problem. Dubai Hills, you're not gonna have that problem at all. One of the best areas to live. So as I said, so it really depends on the area, and at some point it's gonna stop. It's just that the city is developing, man. What do you want? You want to stop developing? But this is where the brokers and people the agents you work with should really guide you and know what are your requirements so they can put you in the right place.
The next thing is dating. I found Dubai to be an incredibly difficult dating market. I hate to use the words market and dating in the same phrase, but Dubai does attract a certain type of woman. It's the same thing with like Miami, you know, all these other sort of party cities, or you know.
Dubai is not a
I'm not going to get too far into it because you can make your own mind up on what you want. But for me, the girls in Dubai were not it, at least from a long-term marriage relationship perspective. So there is that to consider.
For sure, true. By the way, guys, something I want to touch on, and I want to help Charlie in this because many people get it wrong. When he's saying Dubai girls, he's not talking about the Emirati local women. I want to make that clear. And whenever I talk about it, I'm not talking about, because it's two separate worlds. It's not the same thing. When we mean by Dubai women, we're talking about majority of the country is international people. Like it's like expats. Something else to add that's very important, Charlie. Again, I'm saying this for you. It's just a word of advice. The energy we put out is what we get. Right? When we're living in a flashy place and we're putting it online and we're showing a flashy life, we're gonna get flashy people to like us, right? We're living in a day and age where when we go on a date or we send a message to someone, right? Or we meet someone, they Google us, they get to know us. And if they Google, like, what energy am I gonna surround myself with? And let's say Iman Gaji, right? Always in luxury cars and this and that. Well, you're gonna only attract those things. Andrew Tate historically talks about it a lot, right? I don't think it's possible for Andrew Tate, again, nothing against him, to be able to find a woman that actually like likes him for him. Because all he talks about is money and all these like kind of stuff, right? So that's what you're gonna attract. I don't think that girl who really wants like to build a family and stuff, like, are we making videos about family and we're being family oriented? Or are we making videos about our Lamborghinis and Bugattis and stuff like that? So again, I don't think it's much of a Dubai problem.
So the other con to Dubai is the highway experience. You cannot walk anywhere. You can't really cycle anywhere. It's very much a car-dependent city, which is fine if that's your thing, but I wouldn't mind it if the driving experience was actually okay. The driving experience is...
You lived in Palm Jumeirah. If you lived in another area, there's actually biking lanes.
Not great if you want to have a car there. It is very much
depends
every
on
man
where
for
you
himself. There's lots of...
Also, they're building, they have like a huge vision, this thing. I'll tell my team to like put it here. Maybe I'll make a different video on it. They have this very crazy thing they're working on that's going to connect the city like all together, and it's going to allow biking lanes.
Traffic all the time. Like if you're in Central Marina, if you're trying to get off the Palm, or if you're anywhere near downtown Central, you know, during rush hour, you're going to be doubling, tripling your journey time. So there is...
I have a question. In the top cities like Miami, in cities in New York, in London, Ontario, downtown area, let's talk about traffic there, okay? Like, come on, man. Living in a busy city, there's going to be traffic. If you don't like it, you can go to Abu Dhabi, you can go to Ras Al Khaimah. Less traffic. It's not a big thing. It's just city. We're complaining about city life,
but you can't walk anywhere. Like, you know, one thing that I like about Europe, and the main thing I like about Europe, is I can walk out of my door now. I can walk to the supermarket if I want to go to the supermarket. I can walk to a park. I can walk to the pub. I can walk down to see my friends.
If you lived in Dubai Hills, you could walk to the supermarket. You could walk to everything that you're talking about. You just chose the area because, again, your aim was not to live in a place that's going to be best suited for you. Aim was to make videos and for your course. Like, come on. It depends on the area. It's not Dubai as a whole. You can't come and say Dubai. You can't walk around. But is it easier in Europe? Is Europe connected now? Yes, but come on. Jesus Christ. So let me make it easy for you guys. If you want to live in a place that like as a whole, the whole city is like built that way, yeah, you can go to Europe, even though Dubai is working on things in the future for that. But if that is something important for you, just be careful in the area you're choosing. Find an agent who's lived here, who's been working here for a long time, to find you the place to rent that actually fits your requirements. That's it. It's as simple as that. You know,
an event or something. In Dubai, you don't have that. Everything requires an Uber or a taxi or a van.
Completely false, man. It's so wrong. Dubai Hills, specific areas to live in Business Bay. For example, in the Bay Square area, you have everything you want. You have MMA gym, you have supermarkets, restaurants, everything. They're building Maritime City right now, and that one's also gonna have like its own things. Dubai South, they're building MR South area, master communities, and Damak Hills. You have Damak Hills too, that is much further in Dubai. You have like full-on communities, and that's why these villas and stuff like that is such an important thing, because it's built actually in that kind of way. If you live in Arabian ranches, you live in areas. The problem is, Charlie, you lived in an area that's just built for one specific idea. That's so far. It's built for a lifestyle. It's not built for that. So your perspective is coming in a very, very like, you know, wrong way, man. And the problem is, you're making this video, people are gonna watch and gonna think, oh my god, you can't walk around in different, like, come on.
That's not my cup of tea. The next con, and this is, I said I'd talk about this with the tax thing. The tax rules in the UAE are very, very, very unclear.
True.
And for example,
because it's new. They're figuring it out. It's you can't just expect it all to just like boom be clear, man. It's new. They're developing it, but it is clear if you find. It really depends on connections, which I'm shocked that he didn't have a right connection for it. You need the right person that you trust that can handle the whole thing. And very easily you can handle it.
The 9% corporation tax. And I've spoken to many accountants and lawyers that are, you know, experts in UAE law and taxation, but no one really knows who has to pay it and what it's for.
No, they know. If you talk to the true, really confident experts, they know, and they'll tell you. They're just not 100% sure of what could happen in the future. As I said, I have my own company. I go into that tax bracket. I have to pay this kind of stuff. You have to just really be calculated in the way that you go about it.
Or what it's about. And I found that quite difficult. I don't like, you know, tax jurisdictions that don't have clear-cut rules. Because,
it's just going to take time, Charlie.
Before you know it,
and Charlie, you want to go somewhere that you're going to pay like that much in tax is the reason you came. And I have a very interesting question I want to ask you, okay? And be honest, if you're watching this video, let me know if you went ahead and if your company is not incorporated in Dubai anymore. Be honest, Charlie. Be honest. Be honest. Because don't tell me you went back and you're paying that crazy tax in the UK and everywhere else. Be honest.
To make a mistake. And so
is it complicated? I'll agree with you. I'll put that number 3. But they're figuring it out.
Who has to pay the taxes and who, like the VAT thing, and whether salary is tax deductible. So I don't really like that. Next thing, the next con is associations. So whether you like it or not, there are bad actors in Dubai, and there are people in Dubai who, you know, the broad world don't approve of and don't like. And, you know, Dubai does have this kind of association of being a place where dirty money goes to get laundered and criminals and drug dealers live.
Everywhere in the world. Like, this is not something that's just Dubai specific, man. Does it have that misconception? Yes, but it's changing. It's changing, as simple as that. It has everywhere, man. I know so many successful business people that have nothing to do with this, but it's changing. The problem is, it's a problem for course sellers. For course sellers, it's a big issue, because when you're selling courses or you're trying to make like business connections, you have that identity behind you. But you guys also kind of have a part in this, eh?
And, you know, these crypto dudes that basically are drug dealers, but, you know, hide it.
It is true, but it's changing. It's changing.
You become associated with those people. And for me, this was quite important, because lots of people, when they think about Dubai, they think about the sort of low-ticket course scam. And as someone who, you know, sells information online at a higher ticket and not to the broad market, that was a huge issue for me, and I didn't like to be associated with.
For you and the rest of the course sellers, the same ones that are making these videos that are going viral. Charlie, I want to ask you a question. Why did you move to Dubai in the first place? And did it make you more money in your courses or no? So stop complaining about it. Again, they didn't build the city for you to sell courses, right? But you used it. Be grateful for it. Don't complain about it. You made 10 times more money. Your channel grew 10 times more from the resources that Dubai gave you and the thumbnails that you made about Dubai and the area that you lived in, okay? And you are part of the reason, Charlie. You chose to freaking come. The course sellers are doing that. Charlie, look, there's many course sellers, and you know this yourself, okay? Like Alex Hormozi. Alex Hormozi, he never ever flashes cars or luxury items. There's that. Then you have I would say you're in the middle. You're like in the middle of like, you have the amazing knowledge and then you also have that flashy thing that you also try to do sometimes, especially in your thumbnails and different videos you make. And then you have like the Iman Gaji that it's like, it's less knowledge, it's more like lifestyle, which again, I have no problems with any of these things. Like someone Onuha, right? They have the knowledge, they actually have a very successful business, right? But it's mostly flashy. So you're in the middle of this, right? But you guys partake in this thing, man. You guys are one of the main reasons. So if you don't want to, like, if you're complaining about it, then you yourself shouldn't do it too, right?
People. So this is another reason why I moved. Next thing is conformity. This is a really interesting one that's going to piss some people off probably. There is you remember those memes like the starter pack meme? Dubai has a aesthetic to it. And the entrepreneur new money aesthetic, that honestly I think Iman Gaji created. You might not know who he is, but whatever. Everyone looks the same. Everyone wears the same stuff. It's the no logo, old money, linen shirt, linen suit. Like everyone looks the same, and it's weird. Everyone conforms to this identity, which is I really didn't like it. Is prime example. I saw a large group of entrepreneurs at an event, and it wasn't an event that I was attending, but I think there was like 40, 50 of them, and they all looked identical. Now, this is not a con for living in Dubai at all. It's just something that I've picked up on is there is a tendency for everyone to merge into this sort of one human. In Europe, in these cities.
Charlie, the fuck are you talking about? What? Charlie, again, this is your tiny bubble. Your course selling community and all these events and stuff like that, you guys are like gods to them, so they wear things the same as you guys. And yes, Iman Gaji, you could say, but if you freaking just like walk around, they're not wearing the same thing. But if you go to an event that's for entrepreneurs, for these young entrepreneurs, they're gonna look the same. So okay, Charlie, I have a question. If I go to a business event, the same course selling like events that you guys do, if I go to it, are they gonna be wearing the same thing as the other one? Answer that for me.
See everyone with like Laura Piana loafers on. You're going to see linen shirts. You're going to see linen trousers. You're going to see like beige greens and these browns. And
it's your tiny bubble and niche.
Van Cleefs. It's all the same. I can paint a picture of what the average person is like in Dubai. So there is that. It's not.
You're pissed at the people who are buying courses from you.
But that is not to say that Dubai is the biggest flexing market in the world. And what I don't like about Dubai is the constant urge, and this was a me problem, right? It might not be a you problem. The constant urge to compete for status. I've never really been one to flex. I've never bought supercars before. He says, living on the palm, dickhead. But I've never been one to wear expensive watches, and, expensive brands or whatever. But in Dubai, you feel this pull and this urge towards the flexing thing, which was completely unlike me. I nearly bought a Rolex. I was looking at buying Lamborghinis, and then I was like, what the hell? What am I doing? But when you live in an environment where that's just...
You were doing that because you wanted to sell courses. Charlie, I know you're smart, and I know you're not a very flashy guy, but you were doing that because you wanted to sell courses. Again, there's nothing wrong with that, but what the hell are you talking about? Dubai doesn't have a pool. I grew up here my whole life. I never felt like it's a mentality thing, Charlie. It depends on your own morals. Like for me, I just really don't care. Like flashy cars and stuff is not an important thing for me. I'd rather take that money and put it into my business or go on a trip, spend that money on my team, So really, Charlie, again, an individualistic standpoint, and it's your problem, not a Dubai problem. Like, we don't feel like that, man. Like, I don't know. That has nothing to do with Dubai. Honestly.
So normal, and in order for you to obtain status, it's a competition. I don't like the competition.
It just depends on.
But that might just be me being a brokey or something, but I don't know.
It's not you being a brokey, it's you competing with the other course sellers. That's what it is, Charlie. Again, it's such a tiny bubble, man. You're talking to your YouTube channel. Not everyone's like you, man. Like, God damn it. Your title is 2 years in Dubai, brutally honest review. Not 2 years in Dubai as a multi-millionaire that's only focusing on selling courses, brutally honest review that it's not helping my course selling thing, and I took everything I wanted for 2 years and now I'm leaving and I'm trying to go after a different niche.
Next thing, big one, is isolation and lack of normal social life. Because Dubai is the
man who went on Palm Jumeirah.
You can't.
I'm gonna tell my team just put a map of Palm Jumeirah, okay, and some things about it while we're talking about this. Like,
and just meet your mates down the pub. You can't just walk down to see your mate. Like, Dubai is incredibly isolating, and social circles are very hard to break into, and they're very cliquey. Now, I had a good group of friends in Dubai. I had a couple of different groups of friends that I would play football with or go for dinners with, and I met some amazing people in Dubai that honestly I'll be friends with for the rest of my life. But it took me a good year to crack the social thing. Now, that's probably of my own fault for not going out as much, but
True.
Dubai definitely...
Charlie, you've talked about your schedule before. I'm going to tell my team to find the video where you talk about it. You have a very tight schedule. You don't go out as much. You're not the most social person in the world, right? You don't want to, you wouldn't want, I'm assuming you wouldn't want to be friends with people that aren't at the same status level as you because you're constantly trying to improve in life, right? So it makes it a very small niche that you can actually be friends with. You lived in a villa in the Palm, which is where families and vacation homes are usually are at. So the community around you can't find people there. And you didn't have the right people that you would know to be able to actually take you to these community events, or like, I'm not a big fan of networking events, but football community events, boxing like events where you're going to be able to make connections there. And also, Charlie, this is not a Dubai problem. This is a problem with anywhere. Things it's easier for you because you can go to, like, let's say, Amsterdam and find like successful entrepreneurs and connect with them there and become friends with them. But if you go live in anywhere else, let's say in America, in Canada, you're going to feel the same problem. The reason why UK feels okay for you and it feels easy is because you've already built a base there, your family's there, your friends from school are there. It would be very wrong. Like when I went to Canada, I went with 2 other friends that went to the same school with me, university, by luck, by the way. We didn't like plan it. And I did something different than them. I became friends with Canadians. It wasn't easy. Canadians didn't want to really be friends with like immigrants. They're very nice people, but because at that time there was like a huge inflow of immigrants coming into the country, they didn't want to be friends with them. And I went out of my way to become friends with them. It's not easy to go into the social circles, but you have to do something that's different, right? And I did that. The other 2 didn't. They became friends with international people. So it's not really a Dubai thing. You just have to figure out how the thing works. The thing is, Charlie, it wasn't your main focus. Your main focus was sending videos, which you're an entrepreneur. You're very successful. You're to put it actually mathematically, you're 30 times more successful than me in terms of numbers, right? But Charlie, it's just that, like, it's not a Dubai thing. I'm telling you, man. You just have to learn how to go about things and what's the perspective and what's the things that you actually want.
Invite
Again,
isolation, and it definitely encourages you to isolate yourself, because although you're in this
it doesn't. It's
metropolis
just what you do,
utopia,
Charlie.
you can't just, like, how the hell do you meet people? You can go to these networking dinners and stuff, but I hated those.
Me too.
Because
I'm not
the
a big fan at all.
networking business dinners, they're not real friends. It's just transaction. And then what happens is all your social stuff.
100% wrong. Oh my God, man. You see, this is the thing. This is what I'm trying to say. Like my friend who we went in the supercar community. So we grew up here, but I don't hang out with people that I went to school with as much as anymore. Because again, same as Charlie, I'm trying to develop. I'm trying to find different people, but I'm in touch with a few. He's one of the examples. He's very successful. He has a supercar, and we essentially initially we went into this NFT and crypto communities, and we made a lot of friends there. That aside from transaction stuff, we became friends with them. But then the NFT stuff, as people know, died down. And then we went to supercar community events, and he's very good friends with people there. Like aside from transactions, like really like proper like friendships. We go out, we check on each other, we talk to each other. Like Charlie, it's we really come from an individualistic standpoint. Like the same way in your business that you tried so hard to figure out how to do things, if you do the same thing for relationships, you'd be shocked about how easy it is, man.
And social life just becomes about, what do you do, bro? Like, when you go to one of these entrepreneur, you might not know this yet, but if you go to one of these entrepreneur dinners, or if you are thinking about moving there as an entrepreneur, people are just going to, all they do is talk about work. And then those dinners, they are a final. Okay,
Charlie, your entire YouTube channel, what do you talk about mostly? What's the most thing you do in your life, Charlie? You want to come talk to you about your haircut or your shirt or something? Like what do you expect? And you're saying in the UK it's different, right? So you're telling me if I go to a networking event in the UK, we're not going to only talk about work. It's called networking event. Like what are you on about? Go to a fashion event. They're not going to talk to you about work. Initially, they want to get to know you. And because Dubai, as I said, it's culturally developing right now. I really believe in the future of it. That's why I'm here. That's why I didn't choose to go anywhere else. I could do that easily. But where are we in this thing, right? What are we trying to do? It's all these immigrants and all these different people and expats coming to Dubai. and they're all trying to make friends with people. Like in Canada, they don't actually start with what do you do. In university, they would be like, oh, did you go to this school and you go to that school, which is very difficult for international students. Because how do you build that same conversation? Because they're like, they're talking about different schools that they went to and trying to find someone that went to the same school and build a connection from there, right? We couldn't do that because we were international students. So what do you expect them to do here, man? You just have to put effort and figure out how things work. You could easily in the start of a conversation say, man, like I do this and that, and then you divert the conversation to anything else. Take initiative the same way you do with your business. I've done this many times. Actually, one of the things I used to do, this was like around like 3 years and a half ago, and my businesses weren't going right, and I was a very bad time in my life, and I was still going to networking events. When they would tell me, what do you do? I would always open up the conversation in a very funny way. I'd be like, oh, I'm a failing entrepreneur. That's how I would always open up, and then I would create an exciting conversation starter, and we would talk about different things, and then I would get to know about them. It's just, it really depends on you, man. It really does. It really does. I'm gonna be honest with you. I myself haven't been able to find a lot of people because I am focused on my business. I'm not at that stage of my life. I'm trying to take things to a whole nother level, which I've thankfully been able to do it this year, you know? So it really depends, man. It really depends.
They're very grinding, so I stopped attending them. Same thing with like yacht parties and stuff. Like I've had some good parties and some good dinners with my friends.
Good and bad
I've had some bad dinners and bad parties with people who aren't my friends.
True.
So, you know, you can do that with
You have to be careful which yacht parties you go to.
And if you're the kind of person that likes a sense of community and a sense of like a solid, consistent social life, then Dubai is not for you. There is no sense of community in Dubai. None. Like, at least not that I've found. It might be a me problem again, but
it's a you
very
problem.
rare to feel a
heartbeat
or a soul to the place.
It's a you problem if you go and live somewhere else other than the UK where you grew up in, and you go somewhere where you don't literally, man, you have a YouTube presence, you have like a lot of connections, Charlie. If you go to a place where you don't have that, you're going to feel the same way, man, as Dubai. This is not a Dubai problem. This is just the new era that we're living with social media and everything like that, being honest, man.
Next thing is obviously a big one, lack of nature. I lived on the beach, I lived on the palm, I lived by the sea, and it was quiet and peaceful, and there were birds and crickets and stuff, but it still lacked nature. No green space. The city does try, to be fair, and you know,
Dubai Hills, so many different areas, man. They are working on it.
There's no natural green space. And
if you're someone who really like nature is a very important thing for you, then Dubai is not the right place for you. Simple as that.
The next thing is the police have significant authority, and this is a good thing, right? It is a good thing because the police are actually, they have authority, and you know, the government is obviously autocratic, which means it's not a democracy. I don't know quite how they run it, but the issue, and this is the final con, is everyone lives in constant fear. Now, I'm not talking about fully fledged terror. I'm not talking about like you're not in this constant state of terror. But in everyone, maybe not everyone, but this is a projection, but at least for me, in the back of my mind, I constantly had this slight fear that I was going to do something wrong, or piss off the wrong person, or bump into the wrong shoulder, or say the wrong thing, or do the wrong thing, and end up, you know, arrested and put away in jail. Now, I never did anything illegal, and I never did anything wrong, but a lot of people that I spoke to over there shared this same sort of fear. And you'd hear all these stories that probably aren't true about people pissing off the wrong local and getting imprisoned. And I don't think that has merit. I don't think that's true. But because the police and the government, it's autocratic in a good way, because the leader is incredibly competent and incredibly talented at leading. But what that means is,
if you just don't do anything illegal, you're gonna be fine in Dubai, more than fine, especially if you have the right connections, man. If there's any like big problems, they're very fair, man. They just want the best, and that's one of the reasons Dubai is Dubai, man. They're able to get this mentality into people to like, hey, don't fuck around. Something that American others can do. You have transgenders running around and doing whatever they want. Again, I have nothing against transgenders, but you have all these people who are making fun of religions and doing this and that, and I just don't see that here, man. You don't see that here, you know, and that's an amazing thing.
They have full control, and there's less accountability, which is a good thing because it's why the city is so safe. But you need to just be aware that there are real consequences to your actions, which is a good. I'm not saying this is a bad thing. This is kind of like a con and a pro at the same time. But a lot of people, you know, claim to have. I didn't have any issues with the police. I found the police to be very friendly. I found them to be very nice and, you know, caring and kind, and I you know, never had an issue with them. But you just know how much power they have. And it's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing because there is this fear in the back of your mind that, you know, what if you get caught swearing in public or something? Or like, you know, what if that date you went on because
You can swear in public. You can swear in public.
it's not under their, you know, the laws of the country. You're not supposed to like
No,
have
you're
sex out of
fine.
marriage, and you're not supposed to drink.
Oh,
and
no, you're
there's-
fine.
The law.
Well, I'm a virgin. I've never done anything, but that's fine.
It's this grey area of legality, and you know, you always end up with this sort of fear in the back of your mind of what's going to happen. But that's basically my list of pros and cons.
Over exaggeration, Charlie.
If you want to move, you should, and I definitely encourage you to try it if you think that it's for you after these.
For sure, and I agree with that statement. Anywhere in the world, man, anywhere in the world, please, if you're trying to move, don't just fully move. Just go there for 2 weeks and 3 weeks, and then if in 2 weeks and 3 weeks you'll figure out if it's good for you or not. Done, simple, easy, straight to the point. You know, there's nothing to be even like concerned about or to be thinking about. Simple. Don't have to make it difficult for yourself.
After these things, but the main reasons that I moved, the main primary reason that I moved back was to be closer to my team and for my business, but also just the community thing, man. Like the community and the air quality were really the two big things for me.
I'm gonna end the video there. Again, Charlie, all love. I wish you the best, man. I'm so happy. I saw you when you had like 50K subscribers and you've grown to this point, man. I wish nothing but the best for you, and I'm glad that you were able to scale your business. I just want to react to this because I feel like you had the wrong opinion with a lot of stuff. I want to give you a more macro view of it. This video is for people considering Dubai. They'll be able to have a right perspective now. Other than that, I'm Cash. Thank you for watching my video. And yeah, if there's anything, by the way, guys, please leave your opinions and comments. I'll respond to each comment. Trust me, I'll do it, okay? Go ahead. I'm not against anything. I'm always there to be proven wrong. So yeah, let's go ahead. Thank you guys for watching.